Donald Trump lost a series of last-ditch attempts to delay his hush money trial, which means he is now just days away from becoming the first ex-president to face criminal charges in a courtroom. But Trump apparently had enough time to stop by Chick-fil-A, which earned him some fawning coverage from Fox News. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. In just a few days, barring any unforeseen developments, we will all witness the unprecedented spectacle of an ex-president sitting in court for a criminal trial. As of now, that trial is set to move forward with jury selection on Monday, despite Trump's many desperate attempts to delay it.
For a third straight day, a New York appeals court rejected an attempt by Donald Trump's lawyers to delay his hush money criminal trial.
The former president has pleaded not guilty to charges that he falsified business records related to a payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels.
His defense team still scrambling with some last-minute legal maneuvers after failing to get the trial postponed.
Former President Trump has tried no fewer than 10 times to delay this trial.
Trump tried to delay 10 times and failed every time. It's like when my dentist's office catches me lying to cancel an appointment. Hi, sorry, can't make my cleaning today. My aunt is in town. No, she's not. Yeah, she is. What's her name? Stormy Daniels? Trump filed 10 motions to delay in just one case. Combine that with his 3 other criminal trials, his civil cases, his various appeals, and he is piling up legal bills at a truly shocking rate.
Donald Trump has spent, are you ready for this number, more than $100 million on legal bills since 2021.
$230,000 is a huge amount of money. That's how much Donald Trump's Save America PAC has spent per day on the former president's legal bills in February.
First of all, it's very funny that you have to pay all the lawyers for all your criminal trials through something called Save America. Save America from what? You? Also, $230,000 a day. For comparison's sake, you can buy a pristine 1967 Chevy Corvette with original transmission and teal blue interior for roughly the same price, which is perfect because that's Joe Biden's favorite car. Biden should pull that thing up in front of the courthouse every day. Hey, Donnie, what'd you spend your $230K on? Every day that Trump drops that much money on lawyers, you should have to hear Joe Biden say the words, vroom, vroom, mother. Over the weekend, Trump held a high-dollar fundraiser with elite Wall Street donors in Palm Beach, where he raised tens of millions of dollars, some of which will likely go to his lawyers. As we mentioned earlier this week, the event was so fancy, the evening's menu included an endive and frisee salad, filet à poivre, and pavlova with fresh berries for dessert. I guarantee Trump has no idea what a pavlova is. He probably thinks that's the name of someone he dated. Pavlova? Pavlova will be there. I thought we paid her off. So that's what Trump eats when he's behind closed doors with his rich buddies, but when the cameras are on and the supporters are around, he makes a big show of enjoying fast food, as he did on Wednesday.
We are on the scene right now in Atlanta. That is former President Donald Trump taking a brief stop at a Chick-fil-A right before we came on the air with these images you're looking at.
So can I have 30 milkshakes and also some chicken?
And that's just for me. You can pour the milkshakes into one big trough and then just get me a straw. Also, what do you mean you want some chicken? You have to be more specific. It's Chick-fil-A. Everything's chicken. That's like walking into a hotel bar and asking for a glass of your finest alcohol. Are you an undercover extraterrestrial? I would like to taste some of your finest chicken meat, perhaps an arm or a beak. Although my favorite part of that clip was the small talk Trump tried to make with the employees when he ordered.
So can I have 30 milkshakes and also some chicken? I wanted to take care of the customers. Is business good? You're making a lot of money? Everyone's getting rich, right? Excellent. Thanks very much.
It's like he's never talked to normal human beings in his life. Does he think they own Chick-fil-A? Although, if you ask me, they deserve to be rich. Certainly richer than Donald Trump. And they deserve a raise for working that shift because he for sure did not pay. Let's do 30 milkshakes and a bunch of chicken. And can I take a look at your layaway plans? I did think it was short for Chick-fil-A-away. Although I will say, in fairness, it can be tough to make small talk in a restaurant. I mean, take it from me.
Hi, how are you? Hi. See you guys. You like ice cream too?
In my defense, I didn't plan on getting ice cream. I didn't know that was going to happen. It's not like I sat at home workshopping that line. Do you guys enjoy frozen desserts? No, that's no. Now, presidential candidates from both parties have routinely made appearances at fast food restaurants or burger joints. For example, and this is true, Joe Biden has been to every single ice cream parlor in the continental United States. You should see his customer loyalty card. And yet it probably won't shock you to learn that Trump's cult followers on Fox News fawned over him for having the wisdom and courage to walk into a Chick-fil-A and buy, as he put it, some chicken.
I'm thinking about how the fact that President Biden buys himself an ice cream cone, but, you know, I don't know if he buys them for everyone else. I haven't seen that part. Go ahead.
Martha, I don't know if the president's done this for you. The last time we interviewed him at Mar-a-Lago, he wouldn't let us leave until he gave us Mar-a-Lago milkshakes.
What in God's name is a Mar-a-Lago milkshake? That sounds like something Trump would try to cover up by paying hush money to a porn star. Donald, why did you write a secret check for $130,000? Let's just say I got a Mar-a-Lago milkshake from my dear friend Pavlova. Can you even imagine what's in a milkshake in Mar-a-Lago? If Donald Trump gets to pick all the ingredients, the chefs must have a recipe longer than a CVS receipt. Okay, let's see here. A quarter cup of whole milk, 1 scoop chocolate ice cream, 1 scoop chocolate ice cream, 10 scoops chocolate ice cream, a gallon of vanilla ice cream, 6 whole bottles of chocolate syrup, including the container, Adderall, Ambien, amphetamines, ketamine, a double Whopper with cheese and fries, 45 ketchup packets, and some chicken. You choose which parts. Also, let me just say, I also don't know if Joe Biden has ever bought ice cream for his supporters, but I know exactly what the headline on Fox News would be if he did. Ice cream socialist. But the Fox segment then took a very bizarre turn. It may not shock you to hear that Fox was fawning over Trump for buying chicken, but I guarantee you, you have no idea where this is going next.
The last time we interviewed him at Mar-a-Lago, he wouldn't let us leave until he gave us Mar-a-Lago milkshakes, which was, I mean, again, the idea that Democrats try to sell that Trump is an awful human being, that he's Adolf Hitler. I don't know that Hitler was regularly buying journalist milkshakes or walking into Chick-fil-A or Dairy Queen like this.
I'm sorry, you don't know that he didn't? I know, he didn't. They say crazy all the time on Fox News, but they're not willing to go out on a limb to say for certain that Hitler didn't buy milkshakes for journalists. Also, everyone knows Hitler never went to Chick-fil-A. He preferred to get his burgers from Nine Guys. What are you even talking about Hitler for? No one else brought him up. Here's a good rule for life. You never want to be the first person in a conversation to bring up Hitler. And I'm not the only one who thinks it's a weird thing to say. Check out the anchor's face while he's talking about Hitler. I'm surprised she didn't just slowly duck down under her desk like this.
I don't know that Hitler was regularly buying journalist milkshakes or walking into Chick-fil-A or Dairy Queen like this.
See, Trump supporters love making broad, sweeping arguments comparing Trump to historical figures that make no sense whatsoever. On Wednesday, Trump's daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, who he installed as the co-chair of the Republican National Committee, said Trump has been treated worse than not just any president ever, but any person in the history of the world.
If you want to look at a family, and I'll say a man in Donald Trump, who has had nothing but misinformation and disinformation, as they like to say on the other side of the aisle, thrown at him every single day. I mean, there's never been anyone in history, I don't think, that has taken as much incoming as Donald Trump.
First of all, he only takes incoming because he gives outgoing. The guy's viciously attacked everyone, from disabled people to Gold Star families to the institutions of American democracies to toilets that don't flush. Although, now that we've seen how many milkshakes he drinks, I think we know why. Second, anyone in history, even if you ignore, say, Abraham Lincoln, I think maybe Julius Caesar would like to have a word. The dude was famously betrayed by his best buds. Can you imagine that happening to Trump? What would Trump even say? Et tu, Rudy? Oh, sorry, boss. I was carrying this knife over to the table and I tripped. I was about to cut into some of the delicious Chick-fil-A you bought for us. I didn't buy it. I said you would pay for it. But this is the state of the modern GOP. It's not an institution with any discernible policy goals. It's simply a vessel for Trump worship. Here's Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs describing what he thinks the #1 goal of House Republicans should be.
I think job one is to get President Donald Trump reelected to be the president of the United States.
Yeah, but what about passing laws? Can you guys think a second thing to do with your time other than help Trump? There's so much you can fix. Immigration, healthcare, child poverty. Hell, maybe you could pass a law that says when you get to the counter at a fast food restaurant, you have to specify what exactly you're ordering. Sorry, I'm going to circle back to this. In a quick segment, we're calling Seth Circles Back to something that's still bothering him from earlier in a closer look. There's nothing worse than the guy who gets up to the register and has no idea what he wants. We've all been there. It's 8:30, you're late for work. You're online at Starbucks, and the guy right in front of you gets to the counter and goes, you guys sure have a lot of sizes. And the baristas are just sitting there staring at him thinking, even if Hitler came to Starbucks, he would have his order ready. You can't just say you want some chicken. Look at the menu before it's your turn to order. Here's my pitch. We put a shot clock at every counter in America with a buzzer. You get 10 seconds. If you're not done with that order, you hear this sound. Then you got to go back to the end of the line and think about what you did wrong. You know, I'm sorry, guys. I really am. I'm sorry about this rant. It's just the curb is over, and I feel like there's a place for insane takes about social etiquette. This has been Seth Circles Back to something that's still bothering him from earlier in a closer look. So barring any unforeseen developments, Trump will become the first ex-president to face a criminal trial in just days. He also is still awaiting trials for interfering in the election, subverting the vote count, and stealing classified documents that he then stored in his bathroom, next to the toilet, where he deposits all his
Mar-a-Lago milkshakes.
This has been a closer look. Hey, everyone, if you enjoyed a closer look, that's enough for me. I don't need you to do anything else. I made it, you watched it. I don't need you to like, subscribe, do anything else. But live your life. Whatever it is you've been dreaming of doing, now is when I want you to do it. I'm gonna stick around because I got nowhere else to be. Go. Go do whatever it is you've always... I mean, don't just watch like Kimmel videos.